Floyd was built to be the villain.
Legend versus legend. So, I mean, that speaks for itself.
Like having a loyal girlfriend and ditching her for a hot one-night stand who ghosts you. You're left with nothing, and you go home with a hairy palm.
Boxing, the action inside the ring is just part of the picture. Beyond the gloves and punches lies a fierce clash of words, pride, and reputations. A raw, often ruthless struggle that unfolds far from the spotlight of the match.
Terence Crawford didn't have the wide-eye look. In fact, when he stepped from behind the tunnel and came out, he seemed to come alive. When he saw the crowd, he looked up and he saw those people. And even though it was a pro-Canelo crowd, it looked like it woke him up. And then when I saw Canelo, what I noticed about him was that brother looked a lot different tonight than he did yesterday in his face. He was full-faced. His body looked like he put the weight on. During that first round, I mean the first 2-3 seconds, they touched gloves and Crawford flicked 2 jabs at Canelo and kind of stood his ground. And I said, okay, we're going to have a real fight tonight.
That's how Floyd is. He's very.
Do you think he's the great? You think he's the greatest? One of the greatest.
Every
ever,
great fighter in the world says technically there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Every single.
Easily the best counter puncher.
No, every great fighter in the world says there's nobody better. But when you're talking about wins,
right?
Not the best heavyweight champ is Mike Tyson. Right. I think, right? Like the scariest guy because his force is just so strong.
It's insane.
Yeah,
but Logan having almost beat Floyd, that's got to put him in the top three greatest.
Oscar De La Hoya recently made a bold statement that's rippled across the boxing world, stirring up major controversy.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, from Miguel Cotto to everybody. He was the villain, and in a movie, you need the hero and a villain, and Floyd was the perfect villain. Mm-hmm. People love to hate him, and guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Do you think people tune in to watch greatness or tune in to watch him lose?
A lot of people tuned in to watch him lose, but a lot of people also tuned in to watch greatness.
I know the purist like yourself, people that's been around the boxing game, the fight game for an extended period of time, they understand who he is.
Sure.
But do you think the casual, the layperson realize how great he is?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
His remarks didn't just revive a long-standing rivalry. They pulled 2 of today's top fighters into a whirlwind of controversy. The situation escalated quickly, and the trigger came from a surprising place. Terence "Bud" Crawford had just pulled off a historic feat, overwhelming Canelo Alvarez and becoming the first male boxer to claim undisputed titles across 3 separate weight divisions.
It's wild, because if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. That makes a difference to people.
It was a milestone in Crawford's career, a win that secured his legacy among boxing's legends. Yet, in the aftermath, it was Canelo, despite his defeat, who delivered the night's most shocking line. Just one sentence was enough to ignite a firestorm. A long-standing debate that had quietly lingered in the background suddenly exploded into the forefront, dividing fans and experts alike. That's when Oscar De La Hoya entered the scene.
Prime, who would have won, Crawford or Mayweather? Prime for prime.
Crawford.
Really? Why? Just
because Crawford is a unique kind of fighter that other fighters haven't seen, and the ability that he has to switch. Fighters aren't used to that. They don't train for that. I just think Crawford is a very, very unique talent.
Having gone toe-to-toe with Mayweather in his own career, De La Hoya's perspective held significant clout. He didn't hesitate to challenge Canelo's assertion, doing so with sharp clarity. In an interview that spread rapidly online, he outright rejected the notion that Crawford could stand on equal footing with Floyd Mayweather.
I have to disagree because Floyd Mayweather toyed with Canelo. Like, he literally toyed with him. He didn't get hit at all. Not one time. And Crawford, yeah, he's more of a fighter, boxer. Mayweather's more of a boxer. But I have to disagree. I think Mayweather is much more superior than Crawford. Not just because he beat me and it was a close fight, whatever, or that I stepped in the ring with Mayweather, but I really feel that technically Mayweather's a better fighter.
De La Hoya's argument was straightforward and rooted in his personal experience with Canelo. He referenced the 2013 showdown where a peak Floyd Mayweather thoroughly outclassed a young Canelo. "I have to disagree," De La Hoya said. "Floyd didn't just beat Canelo, he completely dominated him. He never took a single clean hit." For De La Hoya, the evidence was clear. He added, "Mayweather is far superior to Crawford, not only because he defeated me, but because, in my opinion, Mayweather's technical skill is on another level."
Okay. Well, we don't know. In the least amount of fights, I didn't have to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
La Hoya's praise for Mayweather carries layers of history and meaning. To understand it, we need to go back to 2007, when the boxing world was buzzing over the mega fight between De La Hoya and Mayweather. This epic showdown shattered pay-per-view records. De La Hoya, the established star, pushed Mayweather to one of the toughest battles of his career, ultimately falling short in a close and controversial split decision. So when De La Hoya lauds Mayweather now, it begs the question, is this a fair, unbiased view or a calculated tactic? By placing Mayweather on a pedestal as the unbeatable legend, De La Hoya also boosts his own standing, making his near win against Floyd seem even more impressive. It's a clever way to remind everyone of his greatness while subtly undermining the boxer who followed him as the sport's biggest name. This wasn't just a technical critique, it was the first salvo in a much bigger battle. De La Hoya's words weren't merely about Mayweather or Crawford. They were a direct challenge to Canelo Alvarez's entire legacy.
So it turns out I'm not the only one who thinks Canelo is an arrogant piece of shit. Turki Al-Sheikh recently revealed that Canelo refused to meet with him in person and isn't entertaining any deals to be done with him. Why? Because he's outpriced himself so much that the Saudis don't even want to deal with him. And it's all because he will do anything not to fight David Benavidez. Look, Turkey is trying to make the best fights that everybody wants to see. And Canelo continues to take the fights that nobody wants to see. Canelo, you're really making the wrong enemies. But you know what?
And then secondly, there's been some social media speculation, we'll say, about when this fight is going to take place. So when will it be?
Who's asking about the time and the place? Can you be specific?
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick. And after that, we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
The tension between the promoter and his former star fighter is one of boxing's most well-known behind-the-scenes stories. De La Hoya took this moment to release years of bottled-up frustration.
God, it makes me horny.
Yeah, baby.
To tell you I told you so. I told you. I predicted the Canelo Crawford fight like a goddamn fortune teller.
You're the Oracle?
Canelo's feet were cemented on the canvas as he was hitting air. What the fuck was that? Props to Crawford.
Thank you.
He came up 3 weight classes and fought a beautiful fight.
Good job.
What a great performance.
Did you get what you was looking for?
Like taking candy from a baby.
My candy!
Look, I promoted Canelo's entire career.
Put some fucking respect on it.
And it was a huge flop.
How do you like them apples?
The only real fighters he's faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and they all toyed with him. Even Mayweather knew Crawford was going to school him.
Thank you.
He put $50,000 on Crawford to win.
To truly grasp the intensity of their conflict, you need to look at how their partnership ended. De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions discovered a young Canelo and helped shape him into a worldwide sensation. For years, they were a dominant duo, but their relationship eventually deteriorated, leading to a messy and very public breakup accompanied by legal battles. Feeling poorly managed, Canelo fought to gain his independence.
Y para este imbécil intento de gente que tengo aquí a mi izquierda, que no se le olvide que yo ya vine siendo el Canelo a Estados Unidos y que solamente lucró con mi nombre. Nunca perdí un solo centavo, sino nomás ganó dinero. ¿Ya le pagaste a Golovkin lo que le quería robar? Sí, muy bien, porque sí, también. Pero si no hubiera metido a mis abogados, me lo robas. Es lo único que hace este hombre es ser una lacra del boxeo, robarle a los boxeadores. Para el que esté con él, meta por favor ahí a sus abogados, porque seguramente les está robando. Es lo único que viene a hacer al boxeo.
You know who your daddy is.
Y a lo único que viene es a robarle la atención a Jaime Munguía. No viene a promoverlo. También le roba la atención a la gente que hace las cosas para la cocina. Ya no saben si hacerlas como consoladores o como cazuelas o algo. Porque acá se las mete el muchacho.
Yeah, I find it quite weird, really. Like, you know, on one hand, Oscar's sort of, his whole mantra right now is how happy he is, and, you know, look at me, guys. And there's obviously this thing with Canelo that just eats him up so much. I mean, the stuff with me eats him up, but this is on another level. And it's like this Clapback Thursday thing, which I think is actually quite amusing. Like, you've got that platform there. Why would you use it to just continuously talk about or try and discredit Canelo Alvarez, who's a fighter that left you 4 years ago? It's over. You know, on one hand, you're this happy-go-lucky guy, and then on the other hand, you've got like this toxicity eating away inside you that's making your blood boil. Just let it go. Like, talk about his fighters, you know, Zurdo Ramirez, Zepeda, Munguia. I know Munguia's left him, but like the other guys he looks after as well. So like, I don't know, I find it a bit weird, really.
De La Hoya viewed it as a betrayal by a fighter he had poured his heart and soul into. So, when he claims that Canelo's career is overrated, it's more than just a promoter's criticism. It's someone hurt and bitter, attempting to dismantle the legacy he once helped create.
I don't expect anything less than that with that kind of person. He's an ass because he's mad because I lead Golden Boy. I'm the golden. I'm the diamond in Golden Boy. Golden Boy is not the same without me. That's why he's angry. I have the proofs. I put my liars in, and he tried to steal money. I have proofs. I don't want to do anything against that kind of guys. I don't want that vibes. I don't really give a shit about Oscar. But if he says something here in my territory, I need to say something, right?
Canelo, I just saw another video where you're still talking shit. All you say is fuck him, fuck that. Oh, he stole from me. Well, obviously, aside from defaming me, why don't you look inside your own circle? Because I know for a fact that people are stealing from you. By the way, you lined my pockets, you made Munguia a shitload of money, all because you're afraid of David Benavidez. Fuck you.
This backstory adds fuel to the fire, turning what could be a straightforward boxing discussion into a heated personal vendetta. Taking to social media, he harshly criticized, saying, I was behind Canelo's entire career, and honestly, it was mostly hype. He didn't stop there, insisting, the only worthy opponents he faced were Mayweather, Bivol, and Crawford, and they all made him look easy. For De La Hoya, this was a moment to say, I told you so, publicly reveling in Canelo's loss with a tone that felt very personal.
Reply to your tweet, he said he disagreed with what you said, but then you also responded to him.
Respectfully, I've been a fighter, and I've gone in my own way when it comes to negotiating a fight, because I have an ego, especially when I'm a fighter. So when I'm a fighter and I'm sitting down on a table with my potential opponent in front of me and with the people that I delegate that are smart, that are business people, it just does not work because there's too many egos in the table. When I started doing that and becoming a businessman before I was a fighter, guess what? My focus was on business instead of the fight, and I started losing. Your window is so short. There's a window of opportunity. Take advantage of it as a fight.
Just when it seemed like the drama was limited to boxing, De La Hoya expanded his criticism to a new target, UFC President Dana White. During the same intense rant, he launched a fierce attack on White, accusing him of putting profits ahead of the health and safety of his fighters.
We were part of the whole, we were actually, I was part of the whole,
against Top Rank,
the whole movement, with the Muhammad Ali Act and all that. And it's in place for a reason. I'm telling you right now, if they change the Muhammad Ali Act, every fighter out there, every manager is going to have problems. He's going to be in trouble because you're not going to be able to negotiate. You're not going to be able to negotiate purses or this and that. You fight for what they pay you. That's not a way to do it. That's not a way to do it. You have to. It's a free negotiation. You have managers for a reason. You have the fighters who should be making the bulks of the money. We put our lives on the line. We go up in the ring. Fighters die. For what? To get 10%?
De La Hoya also criticized White's position on the Muhammad Ali Act, a federal law meant to safeguard boxers, and implied that White aimed to change it to benefit TKO, the UFC's parent company, at fighters' expense. He even alleged that White arrived late to the Crawford versus Canelo fight, supposedly watching a UFC match on his phone during the undercard.
As far as the undercard, Jesus Christmas. I feel bad for Turkey, wasting all that money. You have to fire your matchmakers, Turkey.
We're fired.
It was the biggest fight of the decade, and your matchmakers, not you, your matchmakers.
What are those guys?
Put on that undercard? You paid all that money and had the biggest stage in boxing on Netflix, and that is really the best they could do?
Didn't even try.
If I was matchmaking, I would have put Shiraz versus Benavidez as a co-main event, with the winner fighting the winner of Canelo Crawford next.
Thank you.
That's how you promote. That's how you matchmake. Dana White didn't have his best week. His t-shirt shrank smaller every minute, especially when he was questioned about his attempt to amend the Muhammad Ali Act. So you're saying this reporter is an asshole because he's asking you a legitimate question? That's because the Muhammad Ali Act protects fighters, and TKO needs it to change so they can fuck fighters over. Sorry, Uncle Fester. You can't muzzle the boxing media like you do in the UFC.
That's right.
And after this debacle, he decided to skip the undercard and shows up in the beginning of the main event where he's just watching the UFC on his phone the entire time. I wonder if he regrets abandoning the UFC for a sport that...
The rant culminated in a blunt and startling final message aimed squarely at both of his critics.
I'm not interested in to be a friend with him. I'm good where I am, and I have nothing to with him, and I wish all the best for him, and that's it. I don't want him in my life. I don't want him near from me, close to me. I don't want that kind of vibes on my life.
As De La Hoya's remarks spread across the internet, his critics started to respond. It's at this point that the full magnitude of Crawford's achievement becomes clear. Crawford, who naturally fights at welterweight, moved up 2 weight classes, from 147 pounds all the way to 168, to face Canelo, a bigger and stronger opponent. This kind of leap is a massive risk that very few fighters are willing to make. It's an important detail that De La Hoya conveniently overlooks.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catchweight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
Mayweather faced a younger, less seasoned Canelo at a catchweight of 152 pounds, strategically minimizing his risk. 42,260.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? Were you 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him, because you know, if you beat him, you wanna be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience. He's so smart. He have everything in a fighter. A complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult.
Crawford stepped into Canelo's natural weight class and dominated him, an achievement that strongly supports Crawford's claim of a remarkable blend of courage and skill. His team wasn't about to let this go unnoticed. Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's trainer, proudly wore a hat emblazoned with the word GOAT and confidently told reporters, "Of course he is. Of course he's better." McIntyre emphasized Crawford's readiness to face anyone, anywhere, at any weight, setting him apart from Mayweather's more calculated approach. Crawford himself took a more measured stance, acknowledging Floyd Mayweather as the greatest of his era while stating, "I'm the greatest of mine." The comparison, however, was already heating up. Analysts like Stephen A. Smith weighed in, contrasting Mayweather's defensive genius with Crawford's raw toughness and remarkable adaptability under pressure. To truly understand the debate, it's essential to grasp the contrasting styles at play, a classic clash of boxing philosophies.
Floyd was in his prime. That would have been fucking incredible to see.
Floyd Mayweather was like a ghost in the ring, a defensive genius who mastered the Philly shell and shoulder roll, making him nearly impossible to hit. His style revolved around managing risk, delivering precise counterpunches, and showcasing an unmatched ring intelligence. He was an expert at making opponents miss and then making them pay.
Floyd Mayweather used to have these crazy workouts, and he would crack open a Pepsi. Give me some soda. People are like, he's crazy. But no, he's not. He's smart. That guy did it the right way. Never drank, never partied, would run home from the club at 2 o'clock in the morning.
He was built.
Terence Crawford, by contrast, is a hunter in the ring. A versatile switch hitter, he effortlessly switches between orthodox and southpaw stances, creating tricky angles that wear down opponents step by step. He doesn't just outbox his rivals. He breaks them down mentally and physically, always hunting for the finish. So the real question is, which prevails, the unbreakable fortress or the relentless assault? Amid this heated debate, a quieter, and perhaps more troubling controversy was unfolding. Many experts and fans found the official scorecards from the Crawford-Canelo fight suspiciously close.
No, I may be the only one. I thought you won the fight. I scored it for you.
You know, we need to accept it. We need to accept it, no matter what. In the scorecard, we lost it.
Boxing legend Andre Ward raised a concern that has long lingered over the sport, the possibility of bias in Las Vegas judging. He hinted that judges might unconsciously favor the fighter who brings in bigger money, helping to secure profitable rematches. This notion of an invisible influence shaping the outcome added a shadow of conspiracy to the fight. Despite the controversy, the event was a massive commercial hit, drawing a record 41.4 million viewers on Netflix and generating $47 million at the gate. It proved that in today's combat sports, drama sells just as much as skill. Ultimately, Oscar De La Hoya's raw and unfiltered comments did more than just air grievances. They exposed the complicated world behind professional fighting, where personal grudges, financial motives, and debates over legacy constantly collide. His firm belief in Mayweather's supremacy, combined with his sharp critiques of Canelo and Dana White, sparked a broader reconsideration of what greatness really means. Terence Crawford's historic win inside the ring became the trigger for a storm of controversy outside of it, blurring the lines between sport and entertainment. As things calm down, the big questions linger. Who truly shapes a fighter's legacy? The fans, the analysts, or the powerful figures controlling the story? And in a world driven by money and rivalry, can pure athletic greatness ever truly shine on its own?
I mean, I'm glad that I'm able to just still be able to entertain for the people, and you still get a chance to see it, just a glimpse of me.
Any chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
That wraps up today's video. If you liked what you saw, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. We'd also love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.